Hello everyone and welcome to another video. My name is Carmen. I'm the founder of REMS Hospitality. We provide benchmarking solutions for restaurants and also consulting. We're specialized in maximizing reservations and revenue. But today we're not here to talk about benchmarking, but data in general, and most particularly what AI or how much AI knows about restaurants. So I was very curious to do this video for a while. I wanted to ask ChatGPT what the most important metrics for restaurants are and see what it says and make my comments on it. So let's go. Let's just move into ChatGPT and let's see what it says. So what data sets are the most important to look in restaurants? This is such a broad question, so we may expect to get a broad answer. And by the way, today is an amazing sunny day outside. It's also Mother's Day, so I'm sure restaurants are packed. They are serving and they are doing what they do the best, which is hospitality. And yeah, I'm sure I really hope they all get what they want. They achieve amazing results because that's what we want, full restaurants. So the most important data sets to look in restaurants are sales data, of course, revenue by day part, interesting, revenue by square foot or seat. I don't think this is something that restaurants will look a lot, or maybe not even at all. Labor, yes. Reservations and covers, this is a very cool one. Customer data, inventory, okay, so the knowledge, yeah, it seems like it's going in the right direction. However, as I say, I haven't asked ChatGPT to give me, for example, which one are the three main reports to look at. And if we had to look at the three main reports that restaurants look on a daily basis, especially in head office, right? That would be sales for sure, which we have in here. That would be also covers as well. I want to believe so. And that would be reviews. I mean, reviews is more of an operational thing. And also we're trying to introduce benchmarking data, because we believe it's equally important to look at how you compare versus your comp set, not only with yourself. That's what we offer at REMS Hospitality, but let's have a look. I really want to make my comments about it. So revenue by day part and lunch, of course, lunch, dinner, etc. This is something that 99.9% of restaurants will look on a daily basis. By saying this, they will most likely compare with previous weeks. Keep in mind that restaurants operate a lot in weeks. They like to see how they're performing week on week, also year on year. So they will see, are we growing year on year? Are we growing because we're selling more covers or because we're charging more? That's also something to keep an eye. And also they will do a comparison with budgets. And I like to take this opportunity to say, please write realistic budgets for hospitality. There is nothing as demotivating as having a budget that you cannot achieve. And imagine you wake up and you see red and red and red and red because they are so unrealistic, the market is crowded and you can't. So I think you will do much more if you build realistic budget, even if that means if you cannot grow 10% year on year because it's impossible, just try to grow a bit less, but that will definitely help the morale of the team and they will get better results. Then we have average spend per cover. So this one is very important KPI together with covers sold. So I'm going to take my time and write a bit more about this. So average spend per cover. So this one represents how much money each cover spends at your restaurant, and the formula is revenue. Sorry, I'm just going to move my mic here. So it's revenue divided by covers sold. What influenced your average spend per head? Obviously your menu pricing, your dynamic pricing in the sense like if you have set menus, or you've got any sort of happy hours or tasting, or any weekend offers. Usually restaurants sometimes have a lower spend per head on the weekends, some of them on Sundays because they have like Sunday offers as well that are slightly cheaper to attract more families or more tourists. So that will have an influence in your average spend per head. Also, I would say, what mix do you have of groups or events or ex-hires. So ex-hires is when you rent the entire restaurant to a company, for example. They are very lucrative and they impact a lot your spend per head. Spend per head, that is how it's known. Average spend per cover, spend per head in restaurants. And then any sort of menu changes that you want to do that will have an impact if you increase or decrease your price. I always say please do a bit of menu engineering exercise before changing your prices, because that will help you keep aligned with your expectations. Also, it's very important that you look at the competition. Competition is key to define the success of your venue. We have at REMS Hospitality a library of restaurant menus that are categorized, and then you can easily access anything you want by area, by cuisine, so you don't have to go and explore every restaurant website. You have them all there by price and so on. So next one is revenue per square foot. I don't believe restaurants look at it. I think if they do, it's something that so RevPass so RevPass is revenue per seat per hour. I think this one is a bit more useful because it considers your operating hours, your capacity, and also your revenue. Again, we have this KPI in REMS as to benchmark, and in London, for example, we've seen restaurants with RevPass as low as £5 to restaurants with a RevPass as high as £30. I mean, this is nuts. So a restaurant keeping a £30 per seat per hour, it means they have to be turning the tables so much and so many times, and also they have to keep a decent high price. So again, we have this KPI in REMS. If you're very interested to see how you benchmark against your competitors in RevPass, come to us, we'll give you that data. Then we have labor. Labor is such an important and intense piece of data, and also the biggest headache in hospitality. We're not going to talk about this right now, but reservations and covers, I love this. Reservations and covers. Obviously, if you don't have reservations, if you don't have covers, you don't have a restaurant. That makes sense. So let's see what ChatGPT says. Number of bookings versus walk-ins. Of course, you could be a restaurant focused on walk-ins. If you are that, make sure that your front of your reception teams are really strong. You want them to keep bringing customers in. If you are a more reservation-led type of restaurant, you have to have a bigger strategy, meaning your booking engine should be more effective, your positioning out, like your digital positioning, your OTAs, you may be working with some third parties to advertise your venue beyond your walls. So I love reservations. I think they are the best strategy for a restaurant because you can plan what's going on, and then you can influence what sort of bookings you want to take in your restaurant, how you want to take them. There are different ways people book at that we can have a look. Then we have cover count by daytime, of course, but then no-shows and cancellations. This is a very hot topic. No-shows kill restaurants. Well, that's a bit too much, but no-shows have a negative impact in restaurants. Why? Because if somebody book and you account that person will come and then they no-show, if you are not able to replace, you're going to lose that, right? Especially if you have to pre-order food or you have to staff your restaurant according to how many reservations you get. That's why it's very important. Yes, you can ask for credit card as a deterrent mostly, but this is so effective in the way that people may give credit cards without funds, or they may call the next day saying, I'm sorry, my dog had an accident, I cannot go. And we've seen a lot of creativity around this, trying to get no surcharge fee back. I'm not saying there are not legitimate reasons. I would never say that. But again, if you really want an effective strategy, I would encourage you to overbook your restaurant. And why is this? Because you can always keep people on top of other people if some of them don't show up. This is something done in hotels. This is something done in planes, in theaters. So I highly recommend restaurants to do it. You can do it progressively. You don't have to overbook half of your restaurant on a Saturday night, but you can do a few covers, and I'm sure that would be a very successful strategy for you. Booking lead time. Lead time is how far in advance people book. Obviously, for hotels and price-led businesses like airplanes and stuff, booking lead time will help them to adjust price mostly, because when you're booking a room or a plane ticket, you expect that the farther ahead you book, the cheaper you will get that. In restaurants, doesn't necessarily work like this, but it helps them to understand how full they're gonna get in time. For example, let's see, today's Mother's Day. Mother's Day, congratulations to all the wonderful moms. Let's say you have a group of a few restaurants, and you last year in 2024 you finished with 3,000 covers on the books. Okay, now is 2025, and 2 weeks before Mother's Day, so 2 weeks back, you decided to look how many reservations you had for Mother's Day for this year, and let's say 2 weeks back you had 800 covers on the books. Now, you know, to achieve 2024 numbers, you still have a way to go, right? In there. Oh, my battery. But if you don't know what your booking lead time is, so what you have to do is compare to 2024, same time last year, meaning how many reservations we had 2 weeks before 2024 on the books, so you know if you're ahead or behind. Because if you had, let's say, 700, you are cool, right? You're 100 covers ahead. But if you had 1,500, there's something you may want to do to keep your sorry, I'm just going to charge my laptop. I don't want this to die. You don't want this to be you don't want to be that far ahead or that far behind. Well, far ahead potentially you want. So that is why it's very important to do comparisons to same time last year. You have all that information in your reservation systems. You have to just get the data, do a small pivot table, and just filter, and that will help you a lot. Okay, then within customer data, amazing, visit frequency, customer spend history. Restaurants are becoming more and more aware of this. The reason why is because it's cheaper to keep bringing the same customer one and again and again and again than acquiring new guests, okay? The cost of acquiring a new customer is more than getting people coming back through your restaurants, and they know that. All this information is available through in your reservation systems or CRMs, that I'm sure I will do a video about that in a short time, because it's very important to know where to get the data, how to link those data points, and what you can get out of it, especially the technology you use. Then we have feedback. Well, feedback is essential, should be looked at every day, mainly by operators to act on it. Always please keep an eye on the reviews. They are very important, and people continue to go to restaurants, some people, not all of them, based on reviews. So source of booking, very cool one. So this is how people book your restaurant. They can do it through Google. Google is a very important restaurant discovery. They could do it direct. Direct means they go to your website and they book, or they call you on the phone. It means it's for you is the cheapest one, or online direct, because you don't have to pay any sort of cover fee like you would have to pay if they book through an OTA, which is a third party like OpenTable, Quandu, The Fork, etc. And then we have COGS. Okay, we're not going to talk about COGS. This is intense. Marketing and operational efficiencies here. Table turn, yes. So this is how long it takes for a restaurant to turn the table. Why this is important to look, for example, if you're setting up your reservation settings. If you have given in the back end a 2.5 hours turn time for a table of 2, but you know the restaurant can turn the tables in 1 hour and 45 minutes, you should drop that, because you will fit more people in the same space of time. That will give you more revenue. Then you have here call abandonment. Interesting, I wouldn't really classify this within operational efficiencies, but I will put it more into the reservation. Call abandonment rate is something, again, that restaurants should pay attention. The reason why is because if you have a telephone number, I think it's good if you answer the phone. And the reason why I'm saying this is because people still call to book restaurants. especially older generations, they love to pick up the phone and call and book a table. And I'm gonna say this because the average conversion from a call to a reservation in some sort of fine dining restaurant is around 20 to 25%, meaning from every 100 calls, 20 to 25 will be new reservations. If you multiply that by your average spend per person in a reservation and your spend per head, that is a lot of money. And yes, these people may go and book online, they may go and call tomorrow, but they may not. And that's probably not the risk you want to take in such a highly competitive environment that hospitality is. So that is all for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. I love to interact with ChatGPT. I think it's such a great tool. It can help a lot to gain knowledge and to, even though these are things that we know, of course we know, but to get a refresh from time to time is very good. ChatGPT says, let me know if you want this prioritized by type of venue or specific goals. Of course, we can go on and on and on, but for now I think it's good. Thank you very much for your time. If you enjoyed this video, like it, and I will continue doing more data for restaurants because I think it's very important that we create awareness about this wonderful industry and how much data brings into us. Thank you very much. Enjoy this lovely and sunny day and see you around. Bye.